They give Philadelphia credit. They came out and set the tone early. I mean, they were bigger, stronger. At least it felt like that tonight. They wanted it more. It felt like, and they made 17 threes, 45% from threes. Kicked our butts with second chance points, and it's one of those things. And I think, Katie, you asked about it before the game, but it's, we've been winning, having some success. This team's been struggling on the road, and their two all-star players are out. But that's a good team. I mean, two all-stars are out, but Tobias and Al, I don't know if we didn't expect them to come out and do that to us, but they set the tone early. And then when we did make our run, Neto, Burks hit some big shots for them. They stepped up. They stepped up and made plays when they needed to. It's give them credit. We needed that one, but we got two big games coming up this weekend. So we gotta get back to work tomorrow and get ready for the road.
Katie Hunter, Kings TV. Luke, you used Buddy sparingly in the first half, just 8 minutes, and then went to him kind of a little bit later in the third. What was the kind of driving force behind kind of going away from him until a little bit later?
Well, I was trying to find a group to go. We weren't getting the job done out there. The starters didn't start well, and then we got to that second group, and they came in and finished that quarter and tied it up down two, and then right from there we start turning. We've been doing a great job of taking care of the ball. All of a sudden we start turning the ball over and getting sloppy and doing things that Philadelphia was taking advantage of. So, we're late enough into the season. Like, come on, we have to, we have to keep things going. We're trying to find a group that could find that level again. And I thought Buddy did a nice job in the second half, and he was competing on defense and knocking down some shots for us. So it was more of just trying to find a group that was, gonna get us back in that game.
Jason Jones, The Athletic. Philly, like I said, struggles on the road. They're down two guys, but it seemed like they came out and played desperate from the start. Can your team kind of learn from the idea, down this stretch, that's the type of level you have to come out with every night?
Yeah, we're going to learn that lesson. Hopefully we learn it soon. But that's whether we take losses down the stretch, or if we're winning games, we're going to have to win playing at a high level and being desperate like that, like you said. Because when you come down and you're playing, we got Portland, Toronto, including ourselves. Everyone's either jockeying for playoff seeding or to make the playoffs. And we got a lot of those type of games on our schedule. So we're going to feel firsthand that desperation, that intensity. So it'll be good for us.
Coach Matt George, Sports 1140 KHDK. From a teaching standpoint, how do you balance the negatives of falling behind by big double-digit leads with the positives of being able to get back into the game and go on those runs and cut it down to single digits pretty quickly?
Yeah, we've had a nice. We got a group that's done that quite a bit. They don't quit, and that's kind of it's something you love out of your players. But we'll focus in that film session tomorrow on the negative aspects of why we got down so big, and blowing defensive coverages and not boxing out or coming back in and turning the ball over, all those type of things that we've done a much better job at. That's where the focus will be at tomorrow.
Luke, James Ham, NBC Sports. When you look at the way you guys came back, and then we've talked about this many times, the attention to detail, it seems like it just wasn't there on so many of those possessions, turnovers, not boxing out. It just seemed like there was a series of mistakes, fouls. How do you clean that stuff up while you're in the middle of this run?
Well, it's back to back coming up, so there's not going to be much practice tomorrow. It's going to be a long film session, and that's depending on where the schedule is, a lot of it is that. While we're on the move, this professional sports, we have to continue to learn. So we're going to have film sessions. We're going to do the same things we've been doing, including the players, getting them involved in communicating it out as a way to help learn. But, a lot of the stuff has gotten better. But, tonight they just seem hungrier, more desperate, wanting it. I mean, they physically, every DHO we ran, they were blowing us up, making us run our offense further out. We talked about doing that to them and not letting them, Horford catch the ball on the elbow. He was living on the elbow, running their offense all night long. So to me, that's right there are we really playing at the level we need to? And if that's happening, no, we're not.
Sean Cunningham, ABC 10. Luke, you mentioned it last game that earlier in the season with Washington and their run that they made back, that was a game maybe you guys drop earlier on. Bearing what happened tonight, does it kind of feel like this is a setback, or do you kind of feel like, based on what you guys have done, you've built up enough?
No, there's always, it's never just this smooth, easy ride up. I've talked about it all year. When we were winning earlier, I said we're going to struggle again at some point this season. It's going to happen, you go through the league every night. I haven't checked scores today, but every night there's, what you'll call a setback for somebody. But even without those two guys, they got two more All-Stars still in that starting lineup. That's a good team. They got players that have been deep into the playoffs, and then their role players made plays. So that's not, you give them credit. That's a good basketball team.
Luke, Jason Anderson, Sacramento Bee. You mentioned the turnovers, and that was a little bit uncharacteristic for the way you played lately. Where'd you see those coming from?
Yeah,
mostly?
it was. It was just which felt like kind of how we approached the game for some reason, but it was, throwing ahead to the corner and somebody not being in the corner. It was, we threw one over the top, hit a trailer, and we were 3 feet off target. So it was just. There are always going to be turnovers that the other team forces, but we've been doing a really nice job of not just having unforced turnovers. And tonight, I'll go back and watch the tape, but it felt like there was 4 or 5 of them that were completely uncharacteristic, and we could have, just by making a solid pass, we could have prevented those turnovers. And for us, those are great scoring opportunities because a couple of them were happening while we were out in transition.